What's going on, y'all? It's Nightmare Baller 1, hitting y'all up with a video. Haven't hit y'all up with one since my thoughts on Ring of Honor. And I decided, since how everything went down with the UFC title and Brock Lesnar winning the belt, and this has been the hot topic, I figured I should get my thoughts on it. Seems like every MMA fan in the world had something bad to say about this, and for the life of me, I don't understand why. Because a man is considered one of the greatest MMA fighters, one of the ambassadors of the sport, one of the men that, helped elevate the sport to, the level that it is today, held the most prestigious title in pro wrestling, the NWA title. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Dan Severn, in case y'all don't know. I understand that, Brock Lesnar is, he's famous for being a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He's famous, honestly, Dan Severn, even though wrestling fans know this, fans that know about the NWA and stuff like that, the reason that Brock Lesnar is catching all this heat is because he was one of the main faces of the WWE. And to a lot of people, and this is sad, the WWE is pro wrestling. It's like the only thing in pro wrestling, you know what I mean? And a lot of MMA fans shit on pro wrestling, even though they don't realize that pro wrestling had a lot to do with getting MMA on the map. I mean, let's be real, like in Japan, prime example. I mean, in Japan, pro wrestling dominated. MMA came along, you know what I'm saying? And the Japanese style of pro wrestling is very hard hitting, very strong style. Even though it's contrived, even though it's, choreographed, it's very reminiscent of MMA. If you look at like some of the old All Japan stuff, I understand, it's not mixed martial arts because it's staged and it's choreographed, but the style was more realistic and hard hitting, more stiff. You know what I mean? But Brock Lesnar catches all this heat because, he came from the WWE, and the WWE is wrestling to a lot of these people. Okay, and all these people that say, the legitimacy of the sport is dead because now Brock Lesnar is the champion. Okay, Brock Lesnar right now will be the most hated guy in the sport because he came from pro wrestling. Like, this is actually a great thing because a lot of people think he's not good enough. Okay, and another thing, if he's not good enough, how did he beat, a man that's considered the second best heavyweight of all time? You know what I'm saying? Some people consider him the best heavyweight of all time in Randy Couture. How did he beat him if he's not good enough to hold that title? You know what I'm saying? I believe Brock Lesnar is just scratching the surface. You know what I'm saying? If you look at that guy physically, the physical advantage he had over Randy Couture, he should have, he should have been able to toss Couture around, slam Couture. I mean, I honestly thought Couture was going to win because of the experience, and he does this shit all the time. Every time he's supposed to lose, he ends up beating the guy. Tim Sylvia, Gabriel Gonzaga, Liddell the first time. I mean, I can go on. I go on and on. Even Ortiz to a degree. Some people thought he was going to lose to Ortiz. But, yeah, it's like, he beat Randy Couture. How's the credibility of the belt lost? Anybody that beat Randy Couture, you know what I'm saying? Didn't matter who it was. Didn't matter if it was me. If I beat Randy Couture, it instantly makes me credible. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Randy freaking Couture. You know what I mean? Oh, God. And I get sick of people, acting like Brock is the only guy that's been involved with, pro wrestling and MMA. Ken Shamrock. Josh Barnett, a lot of people, fail to mention. Even though Barnett was an MMA fighter first, very great one at that, he also was involved in pro wrestling, to a degree. Who's another guy? I say Ken Shamrock if I haven't Ken Shamrock. There's a few other guys, you know what I mean? Like Takayama, Yoshihiro Takayama, former, GHC champion, All Japan Triple Crown champion. He had a few, he had some fights in Pride, you know what I mean? So come on, you know what I mean? It gets on my nerves. It really, really does because, Brock is credible. You know what I'm saying? He cares about, it's not like he doesn't care about the sport. He's completely abandoned wrestling to fight in MMA. You know what I'm saying? Just give the man his props. He won the belt. Deal with it. There is no him killing credibility. Okay, if anything, he's going to help the sport because the UFC is the biggest MMA promotion on the planet. You know, can we all can agree on this? Okay, if you look at their ratings for the Ultimate Fighter, for UFC Fight Night, and just anything they do on TV, honestly, the WWE, which is pro wrestling, actually does better numbers than MMA on television. So how will this not help MMA? You know what I mean? Like, Brock winning the title automatically creates a buzz about MMA. The night he won, I saw all sorts of shit on ESPN. I saw stuff on Yahoo. It's like the world just went on fire. Message forums were, buzzing. Everybody's talking about this. So how is this bad for MMA? How does the credibility of the sport die? And these MMA fans should be used to people bashing their sport because they do that shit anyway. If you watch ESPN, you watch shows like Pardon the Interruption and Around the Horn and just all this other stuff. They always take little shots at MMA, like, oh, that's that pseudo sport MMA, and they praise boxing, even though boxing, in my opinion, even though it's considered sweet science. I got a lot of respect for boxers, but you cannot tell me that MMA is not a sport, but boxing is. It has technically the same type system. It has a judges system. It has knockouts. And in MMA, you have to know more styles of martial arts. You can know boxing. You can know jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But that's another topic for a whole nother day. But like these MMA fans, I don't think they understand. Like, if the man beat who's widely considered one of the best a lot of people say the best heavyweight of all time. How is he not credible? How is he not qualified to be a champion? You know what I mean? Like, come on. I know it was an upset. I didn't expect him to win. I don't think anybody did. Bottom line, he won. You know what I mean? And Brock is dedicated. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, him coming in MMA, I thought it was a joke. I thought he was just, going to come in here and try and, get his payday or whatever. But he's serious about this, people. You know what I mean? And it shows. His fight against Couture, he looked good. You could tell he trained for Couture. He looked good. You know what I mean? Couture is the man, pretty much. And he looked good. I mean, his takedown defense looked good. Because Couture could not take him down. You know what I'm saying? He took Couture down. Not many people have been able to do that in general. Off the top of the head, I can't really think of anybody that's been able to take Couture down like that. I mean, he didn't slam him like he should have because, the man is like, 265 pounds, and he outweighed Couture by like 40 pounds. But that's just part of him growing. I mean, the more Brock Lesnar grows, the more unstoppable he'll be. Like, but the credibility is lost because he used to wrestle. Get that shit out of here. If a boxer used to, if an MMA fighter used to box, you gonna tell me that the boxer, because he wasn't, he didn't start in MMA, and him, like, let's say he beat Anderson Silva. Let's say somebody like Roy Jones Jr. beat Anderson Silva for the UFC middleweight title. I mean, are y'all going to start bitching then? He's a boxer. He's not an MMA fighter. Is it going to be a problem then? I really don't. I somehow doubt that. I seriously doubt that. But anyway, I feel that as, a community as a whole, MMA fans should know the ridicule that they get, because of how these different people involved in different sports always get on their shit saying that it's pseudo because of them. But, the only reason they do that is because of those cages. You know what I mean? Because of, how Elite XC, even though it's dead, I should have a video about that soon. Soon. Not yet, but soon. How, the Elite XC had it, WEC, a few of these companies have cages. That's the only reason it's like that. But anyway, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. I should have, not peace yet. I should have 4 Ring of Honor reviews actually. A Chikara, maybe, let's see, Style and Substance, Artistic Pursuit of whatever it's called. No, it's not. It's fuck. Well, I should have two Chikara shows, and yeah, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.